Hey friends! Imagine a world beneath your feet, hidden from sight, where tiny workers move endlessly in perfect harmony. A city that never sleeps, carved entirely from soil and instinct, where tunnels twist like secret rivers and chambers hold the quiet rhythm of life. Today, we'll journey into the underground cities of ants, exploring the hidden wonders of a world so small, yet so astonishingly alive. If you enjoy calm science journeys like this, a gentle like or subscribe to help the channel grow, and tell me in the comments, where are you watching from and what time is it there right now? I love seeing how far this little community reaches across the world. So put on your headphones, close your eyes, it's made for relaxation and learning. Beneath the warm soil of the forest floor, a hidden world stretches silently, winding like a secret river beneath our feet. Tiny tunnels twist and spiral, carved by countless little architects who never pause, never sleep. These are the cities of ants, intricate and immense, alive with quiet activity, a rhythm as soft and steady as a heartbeat. Imagine a city built entirely underground, its streets invisible, its buildings hollowed from the earth itself. Here, sunlight never touches the walls, and yet life pulses in every corridor. The air is cool and damp, carrying the faint scent of roots and moss. Tiny particles of soil cling to the walls, smoothed by the constant movement of millions of feet. In this subterranean labyrinth, the world feels different, slower, yet somehow more purposeful. Every tunnel has a meaning, every chamber a function. Some are round, like small domes, shaped for storing food that glimmers like tiny jewels in the dim light. Others are narrow and winding, designed to funnel visitors along paths only the ants can navigate. And all of it hums softly, a living pulse of life that is invisible from above. Ants are small, but their worlds are vast. Some colonies extend for hundreds of meters, a network of chambers and tunnels stretching beyond what a human eye can see. The workers move constantly, carrying seeds, leaves, and tiny morsels back to their homes. Each ant knows its role, not through spoken words, but through instinct and smell. Their tiny antennae brush the walls and the air, sensing vibrations and chemical signals left by fellow travellers. It is a silent conversation, a language older than any human city, spoken in scents and touches, guiding every step. In the heart of the city lies the Queen's chamber, often larger than any other room. It is warm here, slightly elevated, as if the earth itself rises to cradle her. She moves slowly, almost imperceptibly, while her attendants tend to her, cleaning, feeding, and caring for the thousands of eggs that will one day become the next generation of workers and explorers. Life in this chamber feels like a gentle, steady hum, a rhythm that echoes through the tunnels, reminding all who dwell here that time is endless and life is continuous. Outside the Queen's chamber, the workers are endlessly busy. They carry food from underground farms of fungus and stored seeds, carefully arranging the harvest in small organized piles. Some ants specialize in cleaning, keeping the walls of the tunnels smooth and free from debris. Others patrol the outer corridors, tiny sentinels moving with precise, measured steps, ever watchful for invaders. Even the smallest threat, a spider, a rival ant, or a curious beetle, triggers a flurry of action, yet it happens with such quiet efficiency that it almost feels like a dance, not a battle. What makes these cities even more astonishing is their structure. Without beams, bricks, or scaffolding, ants create chambers that resist collapse. The soil is carefully compacted, and sometimes reinforced with tiny grains of sand or resin collected from the surface. Moisture is managed with astonishing skill. Some species dig deep wells to reach underground water, while others carefully place air pockets to ensure ventilation. The tunnels twist and turn not randomly, but with purpose, following gradients that prevent flooding and creating air currents that carry fresh oxygen to every corner. These cities are not chaotic, they are living masterpieces, engineered by creatures smaller than a fingernail, yet capable of shaping entire ecosystems underground. As night falls above, the city does not sleep. Ants are attuned to different cues than we are. They measure time not by the sun, but by the subtle shifts of temperature, humidity and scent. Activity continues, a quiet rhythmic pulse. Some ants return to the surface to gather fallen fruit or tend to fungal gardens, while others remain deep inside, fortifying walls, caring for the young, or simply moving through the endless corridors in patterns that humans could never predict. It is a world where rest is fleeting, yet the pace never feels frantic. It is steady, consistent, a kind of calm urgency that sustains life. Occasionally, a visitor from the surface finds its way into these tunnels, a curious beetle, a wandering worm, or even a human probing too deeply with a stick. The ants respond almost imperceptibly. Scouts emerge first, brushing the intruder with gentle touches of their antennae, assessing whether the creature is a friend or a foe. If danger is sensed, workers converge silently, forming living barricades or guiding the intruder away. The city adjusts as if it is breathing, expanding and contracting with every movement, every action, a flexible living organism. It is not just the physical structure that amazes. The social order of these underground cities is a marvel. Each ant, from the tiniest worker to the grand queen, contributes to a balance that has existed for millions of years. Generations overlap, each building upon the work of the last, leaving trails and chemical markers that guide the future inhabitants. Memories of walls, tunnels, and chambers are etched not in stone but in scent and touch. The city remembers, even as individual ants come and go, creating continuity in a world where life is so fleeting. And through it all, there is a quiet poetry in their existence. The walls of the tunnels seem to breathe, the chambers hum with life, and the corridors twist like gentle rivers beneath the earth. One could imagine lying in the soft soil, listening closely, and hearing the faintest whisper of a world that never sleeps, yet never hurries. It is a city of patience and persistence, of intricate beauty hidden beneath our feet, waiting for those who are willing to imagine the life of the smallest architects. In this underground universe, time is different. Days above mean little here. The ants live by cycles of work and rest, of growth and care. Each generation contributes a single thread to the tapestry of the colony, weaving a story that is both fleeting and eternal. And as you imagine these tiny citizens moving endlessly through their dark, cool streets, you can feel the quiet miracle of life unfolding in miniature, in a rhythm that is both calming and endlessly curious. The deeper you imagine walking into these ant cities, the more you notice how everything is connected. Every chamber opens into another, every tunnel a thread in a vast network that seems endless. Some corridors are wide, just enough for two ants to pass side by side, while others narrow suddenly, forcing the tiny travellers to single file. Yet, despite the seeming complexity, every ant moves as if it knows the shape of the city by heart. They glide along the walls and floor, brushing antennae gently against each other, sharing tiny pieces of information that guide the flow of life. Food is never far from the heart of the colony. Ants carry seeds and leaves from above, but their most precious treasures are underground gardens of fungus. In hidden chambers, the fungus glows faintly, nourished by leaf pulp and the careful attention of the ants. Workers tend to it like gardeners, removing spoiled patches, spreading spores and feeding it just enough to keep it growing. The fungus, in turn, feeds the colony, creating a delicate balance where both species thrive together. It is a quiet miracle, a world where cooperation has been perfected over millions of years, and each tiny gesture matters. Young ants, the larvae, lie curled in soft chambers, tended constantly by nurse ants. The nurses move gently, brushing them with delicate touches, cleaning each one and feeding them through tiny droplets of nourishment. Every motion seems choreographed, a slow and careful rhythm that ensures the future of the colony. The larvae grow quietly, unaware of the vast city surrounding them, yet their lives shape its very structure. They are both fragile and powerful, a reminder that even the smallest beings carry the weight of a living world. Sometimes, in the deepest chambers, the walls pulse faintly with vibration. Ants communicate through these vibrations, sending messages across distances that seem impossible for creatures so small. A worker sensing danger might tap a pattern on the soil floor, and faraway sentinels will respond, moving into position almost instantly. It is a language of touch, subtle yet precise, connecting the entire colony like a living web. The city itself seems to breathe with these messages, each vibration a soft whisper of life moving through the earth. Beyond the queen and the gardens, there are storage chambers, each packed with seeds, nuts, and other treasures gathered from the surface. These rooms are organized with almost human precision, yet without tools, without labels. Ants rely on smell and touch, recognizing each morsel by scent, stacking them carefully to prevent mold or rot. In some species, chambers are rotated over time, moving older food to the center and fresher harvests to the edges. It is a quiet system of order, invisible to human eyes, yet maintained perfectly by countless tiny hands. Patrolling the outer corridors is a different kind of dance. Soldiers and scouts move slowly, their steps measured and deliberate. Their antennae sweep constantly, brushing against the soil and each other, sensing both the physical space and the chemical signals left by visitors. When a danger is found, the response is immediate yet calm. Workers converge, forming lines, blocking tunnels, or removing intruders with surprising efficiency. Even in moments of urgency, there is no panic. The colony acts as one, a single mind made of many, a living network that thrives on cooperation and instinct. Some tunnels lead far from the main chambers, winding upward toward the surface in hidden shafts. These are the highways of the ants, paths where workers move food or explore new territories. Occasionally they emerge above ground under the cover of leaves and shadows. The ants venture carefully, carrying pieces of leaves or seeds back to their hidden city. Each journey is quiet, almost meditative, a moment in which the colony reaches outward, while remaining entirely hidden. The surface world feels distant and enormous, yet the ants navigate it with confidence, as if the land itself has been mapped by their tiny feet over generations. Water is another secret of life underground. Deep wells are dug carefully, shaped to hold tiny pools while other chambers are lined to prevent flooding. Moisture is measured in scents and textures, each ant sensitive to the smallest change in humidity. Too dry and the fungus may wilt, too wet and tunnels could collapse. The colony balances these needs constantly, moving soil, adjusting walls, and regulating airflow. It is a silent, invisible work that continues day and night, keeping the hidden city alive and thriving. Even in moments of apparent stillness, life continues. Tiny workers emerge from chambers with grains of pollen, carrying them to other parts of the colony. Scouts explore new paths, brushing against walls to leave scent markers for others to follow. The queen rests, but attendants move around her in a slow, comforting rhythm, ensuring that the future of the colony is secure. Outside, storms may rage or the sun may scorch the earth, but below, the city remains a calm and constant world, a haven of quiet purpose. And in this quiet, it is easy to imagine the poetry of their lives. Every tunnel, every chamber, every ant contributes to a rhythm that is at once steady and mysterious. Time is measured not in hours or days, but in the slow growth of fungus, the hatching of larvae, and the movement of workers along unseen corridors. There is patience here, and persistence, a sense that even the smallest life has meaning and place. The city breathes, and if one listens closely, it feels as though the earth itself whispers the story of a world that never sleeps, yet is never rushed. In the quiet heart of the colony, the queen moves with slow, deliberate grace, almost as if she embodies the rhythm of the entire city. She does not speak, yet her presence guides thousands of workers, her scent flowing through the tunnels like a river that reaches every chamber. Around her, attendants move constantly, cleaning, feeding, and tending to her eggs. Each tiny egg carries a future worker, soldier, or queen, a possibility encoded in the soft curve of its shell. The queen's influence is subtle, almost invisible, yet it shapes every decision, every movement, every rhythm of life beneath the soil. Around the queen, the hierarchy is clear but unspoken. Workers, soldiers, and nurses each know their roles, guided by instinct and chemical signals. Older ants may take on riskier tasks, venturing to the surface or patrolling the outer corridors, while younger workers focus on tending larvae or maintaining tunnels. Every ant contributes to a living order that seems effortless. Even when a sudden danger disturbs the calm, the response is seamless. There is no chaos, only coordination, a ballet of tiny limbs and careful instinct that protects the colony as if it were a single being. Beyond the Queen's chamber, the tunnels wind like hidden rivers. Some lead to chambers filled with food, carefully stored and rotated to last through weeks without fresh supply. Seeds are arranged meticulously, fragments of leaves stacked with care, and even the smallest crumb is transported with purpose. Fungus gardens glow faintly, nurtured by worker ants who trim and feed each patch with devotion. The fungus is more than food. It is a living partner, shaped and shaped again by the colony, a quiet collaboration that has endured for millions of years. Life in the tunnels is a rhythm of movement and stillness. Some chambers remain calm, the ants resting briefly or tending their young, while corridors hum softly with activity. Antennae brush walls and each other, leaving trails of scent that guide every traveller. Tiny vibrations ripple through the soil, carrying messages from one end of the city to another. Even deep underground, communication is constant, a gentle hum that sustains the invisible order. And though these messages are imperceptible to humans, they form a network as intricate as any city above, invisible yet precise. Patrols move slowly along outer tunnels, exploring for new resources or guarding against intruders. Soldier ants, slightly larger than the workers, sweep their antennae in patterns, detecting subtle changes in the air or faint traces of other creatures. They move with calm vigilance, never hurried, yet always ready. A single tap, a single chemical signal, can alert the entire colony to a potential threat. And yet the response is never frantic. It is quiet and deliberate, a reflection of the patience embedded in the very soil of the city. Some tunnels lead upward toward hidden shafts, tiny passages that open briefly to the world above. Here, foragers venture into the sunlight to collect leaves, seeds, or nectar, returning to the shadows below with their treasures. Each journey is measured and careful, a dance between the surface and the depths. Above ground, storms may break and predators may roam, yet the ants navigate with confidence, guided by scent trails and subtle environmental cues. They move in almost hypnotic synchrony, each step precise, each return a quiet triumph for the hidden colony. In the quieter chambers, larvae rest under the care of nurses. They lie curled in soft earthen beds, tended constantly with gentle touches and nourishment. Each ant knows how to care for them, how to ensure their growth and health. The life of a larva may seem small and fragile, yet it carries the potential to shape the colony for years to come. And as they grow, they move through stages of life, gradually joining the endless work of the tunnels, becoming part of the rhythm that flows like a gentle river through the underground city. Air flows subtly through the tunnels, a soft current that carries scents and maintains moisture. Ants manage this almost invisibly, shifting soil, adjusting chambers, and ensuring that ventilation keeps every corner of the city livable. Water is stored in small pools, deep wells, or absorbed in spongy soil, carefully guarded against drying or flooding. The balance of these elements is delicate, yet the colony maintains it with quiet precision. Even in darkness, life thrives, flowing through the city as naturally as water through a stream. Ants are not alone in these subterranean worlds. Tiny mites, harmless beetles, and other small creatures share the tunnels in a delicate coexistence. Some clean the walls, some consume waste, and some simply pass quietly, unnoticed. Each presence fits into the ecosystem of the city, a reminder that life underground is not only vast but layered, a network of relationships that humans can barely perceive. It is a hidden world, complex yet calm, chaotic only to the untrained eye, yet orderly and precise to those who know its rhythms. And in the stillest moments, when the colony seems to pause for a heartbeat, one can imagine the poetry of life in motion. The Queen rests while attendants move around her. The fungus gardens glow faintly, and corridors hum with the gentle steps of workers. Each ant is small, yet its presence matters, a single note in a symphony that never ends. The city itself feels alive, breathing, flowing, a secret world beneath our feet that continues in calm, endless cycles. Time here is measured differently. Days above hold little sway. Life flows according to work, growth, and care. Each generation contributes a thread to the fabric of the colony, leaving scent trails and paths that guide those who come after. Even as individuals pass, the city persists, a living testament to patience, collaboration, and the quiet marvels of nature. It is a world that never sleeps, yet it moves without hurry, a gentle rhythm that carries life through the hidden depths of the earth. Beneath the forest floor, the tunnels twist and turn with quiet intelligence, carved over countless generations by tiny, tireless workers. Each passageway is shaped with care, not only to connect chambers, but to control air, moisture, and temperature. The walls are smooth, compacted by millions of tiny feet, yet they breathe, allowing subtle currents to carry oxygen deep into the heart of the colony. Ventilation is natural and precise, a silent system that ensures life can continue even in the deepest, darkest corners. Some chambers are filled with carefully stacked stores of seeds, nuts, and plant matter. Ants arrange them with meticulous care, sorting by size, texture, or scent. It is as if the colony has a hidden library, where each morsel has a place, a purpose, and a record of when it arrived. The ants' sense of order is astonishing. Even in darkness, they navigate effortlessly, retrieving what is needed without pause. The very soil seems to hum with the invisible rhythms of labour, a quiet symphony of movement and care. Water flows through hidden channels, collected from deep wells or absorbed from damp soil. Tiny pools glisten faintly in the dim chambers, reflections caught in droplets that cling to the walls. The ants manage these sources with astonishing skill, ensuring that nothing dries too quickly or overflows in sudden storms. Air and moisture together create a gentle, stable environment, where fungus gardens thrive, eggs develop safely, and young ants grow with patience and care. The underground city is a delicate balance, maintained by countless unseen hands and minds. In the outer tunnels, scouts move slowly, their antennae sweeping back and forth like fine instruments measuring the world. They explore, map, and mark the territory with scent, leaving trails for workers to follow. Even a single leaf fragment carried to a distant chamber is part of a larger rhythm, a story of movement and connection that extends across the entire colony. The ants' journeys are quiet and deliberate, every step purposeful yet flowing with a calm, mesmerizing rhythm that seems almost meditative. Storage chambers are not only for food, some are dedicated to fungus cultivation, others to temporary nurseries or emergency refuges. The design of these chambers is subtle, shaped by instinct yet perfected through centuries of trial and careful adaptation. Some rooms are domed to prevent collapse, others are narrow to conserve heat and humidity. It is an engineering marvel invisible to the human eye, yet perfectly suited to the lives of its tiny inhabitants. The soil itself becomes architecture, moulded and shaped to serve countless purposes. In the deepest parts of the city, silence is broken only by the faint tapping of tiny legs on the walls and floors. Messages travel as vibrations, chemical signals, and gentle touches. Ants communicate constantly yet imperceptibly. A worker sensing a food source hundreds of meters away can guide others through scent trails and rhythmic taps, creating a chain of guidance that spans the colony. It is a language older than any spoken word, a network of touch and smell that binds the city together in calm, unbroken coordination. Even in moments of rest, activity continues. Young ants are tended with care, the queen is attended by her loyal workers, and patrols move along the outer corridors. The city hums with life, yet it is never hurried or frantic. Every movement has purpose, every gesture meaning. The balance of labour and care, risk and safety, is a constant meditation in motion. Life flows like a gentle river, hidden beneath the world above, unobserved, yet astonishingly intricate. The tunnels themselves are a form of art and science intertwined. Some slope gently downward to carry away excess water. Others rise to create air pockets for ventilation. The soil is chosen carefully, sometimes mixed with sand or resin to reinforce walls. Even tiny obstacles like roots or stones are incorporated thoughtfully, creating natural barriers or support structures. The city evolves continuously, adapting to each challenge with patience and ingenuity. It is an architecture that moves, changes, and grows along with its inhabitants. Foragers that emerge to the surface carry more than food. They carry the city's connection to the wider world. They navigate using the sun, scent markers, and landmarks invisible to humans. Every journey is a careful dance, balancing exploration and safety, risk and reward. Returning to the depths, they deposit their finds, reinforcing the colony's stores and sustaining the delicate balance of life below. Each ant, though tiny, is part of a vast, coordinated system that functions with quiet precision. And throughout the city, a sense of timelessness pervades. Days above mean little. Life flows according to cycles of growth, care, and labour. Generations overlap, each contributing to the fabric of the colony, leaving scent trails, tunnels, and chambers that guide the next. Even as individuals live and die, the city endures, a living testament to persistence, cooperation, and the extraordinary rhythms of nature. It is a world that never sleeps, yet moves with calm, measured grace, a hidden miracle beneath our feet. As the forest above darkens with the coming night, the city beneath the soil does not slow. Activity pulses quietly through the tunnels, a rhythm almost like a heartbeat, steady and unending. Ants move along their hidden highways, each step measured, each journey purposeful. Some travel from storage chambers to the queen, carrying tiny droplets of nourishment. Others patrol the outer edges, sweeping antennae through the air, reading every scent and vibration for signs of change. Even in darkness, the colony is alive with movement. These underground highways are remarkable in their design. Some are wide and straight, used by workers carrying food from the surface or distant chambers. Others twist and narrow, guiding smaller workers through quieter, hidden paths. At intersections, ants pause briefly, touching antennae with neighbours to share information, then continue along their way. It is a silent dance, a choreography older than any human civilization, flowing endlessly through soil and stone, connecting chambers like a network of invisible threads. Night brings its own patterns of work. Scouts venture toward the surface under the cloak of darkness, carrying leaves, seeds, and fragments of flowers back to the colony. Their journeys are careful, measured, each step guided by scent trails left by previous travellers. Meanwhile, inside, nurses tend the larvae, brushing them gently, moving them to warmer or cooler areas depending on the needs of the developing ants. Every action is deliberate, purposeful, yet so calm that the entire city seems to breathe with a quiet serenity. The queen, ever at the heart of the colony, rests lightly, her body supported by a circle of attendants. She is never idle, yet her movements are slow, almost meditative, like the centre of a soft, unending rhythm. Around her, eggs are laid with precision, each one a promise of the future. Nurses move continuously among them, ensuring they remain clean and nourished. Life flows gently around her and through her, sustaining the endless cycle of the colony. In the outer corridors, soldiers patrol with a sense of calm vigilance. They move slowly, scanning for vibrations or subtle chemical signals that might indicate intruders. When they detect a threat, they respond quietly but decisively, guiding workers or intercepting intruders without panic. Their presence is reassuring, a quiet guarantee that the hidden city is protected, even as unseen challenges emerge above and beyond the soil. It is a form of guardianship that requires no words, only instinct and precise coordination. Even within the deeper chambers, life continues without pause. Workers maintain the fungus gardens, trimming old growth, spreading spores, and feeding the living food carefully. Seeds and grains are rotated, moved from one storage area to another, ensuring freshness and balance. Each ant seems aware of its part, moving in gentle rhythm, brushing against walls and each other, maintaining the flow of life. There is no hurry, only purpose, a steady motion that keeps the city thriving. Communication is constant yet subtle. Tiny vibrations pass along the soil, carrying messages that guide movement, warn of danger, or signal food sources. Chemical trails leave invisible maps that lead ants across complex networks of tunnels. Even in complete darkness, the city functions with precision, a living organism guided by touch, scent, and instinct. It is a network of intelligence that hums softly, almost imperceptibly, like a whisper beneath the earth. Some ants specialize in cleaning and maintenance. They sweep away soil particles, repair minor collapses, and smooth the walls of tunnels. Their work is never finished, for the earth shifts, roots grow, and chambers settle over time. Yet each ant works with quiet dedication, shaping the city, reinforcing its structure, and ensuring that every chamber, every corridor, and every passage remains functional. It is a labour of care and patience, carried out without recognition, yet vital for the colony's survival. Water sources are carefully managed, pooled in hidden wells or absorbed in spongy soil. Moisture is monitored continuously, for it sustains fungus gardens, nurtures larvae, and prevents tunnels from collapsing. Tiny adjustments, imperceptible to human senses, are made constantly, moving soil, shaping walls, or redirecting flow. It is a delicate balance maintained by countless tiny workers, a harmony of life and environment that has endured for countless generations. And through it all, there is a quiet poetry. The ants move endlessly, yet never hurried. They work tirelessly, yet calmly. Tunnels pulse with life, chambers hum softly, and the city stretches outward in ever-expanding patterns. Each ant, though small, is part of a vast interconnected rhythm, a single note in a symphony that has played for millions of years. Night or day, surface or depth, the colony moves as one, a hidden world beneath our feet that never sleeps yet flows with serene, unending grace. Deep beneath the forest floor, the tunnels twist and spiral with a quiet intelligence, each corridor a thread connecting the lives of countless ants. The city seems endless, yet every chamber, every path, is shaped with purpose. Workers move with gentle precision, brushing against walls and each other, following invisible maps etched not in ink or stone, but in scent and vibration. These maps guide them flawlessly, leading them from storage rooms to nurseries, from fungus gardens to the Queen's chamber, even across tunnels that stretch for meters beyond what any eye can see. Communication in these cities is subtle, yet extraordinary. Ants tap lightly on the soil, sending vibrations that ripple along the tunnels. These tiny signals can warn of danger, guide workers to food, or coordinate group activities. Chemical trails linger like invisible threads, pointing paths for others to follow. A scout returning from a distant chamber may deposit a scent that directs dozens of workers to a newly discovered seed or a patch of fungus. In this way, the city functions like a living network, each ant a node connected through touch, scent, and movement, all flowing in quiet harmony. Some chambers are devoted entirely to problem solving. When obstacles appear, fallen soil, roots, or moisture, the ants respond with astonishing coordination. Workers shift soil delicately, reinforcing walls or redirecting small tunnels. They adjust passageways to maintain airflow and prevent flooding. There is no rush, no panic, only calm, careful labour, quiet intelligence that seems to guide every tiny foot. Even the youngest workers eventually learn these patterns, absorbing the knowledge of tunnels, chambers, and signals as part of their instinct. The fungus gardens remain a constant focus of care. Ants trim old growth, spread spores, and feed the living food with precision. These gardens are delicate, yet they flourish under constant attention. Workers move in gentle rhythm, brushing lightly against one another as they tend to the fungi. It is a world of patience, a lesson in how life thrives when nurtured with care. Each tiny action is meaningful, and together the movements of hundreds of ants create a calm, enduring pulse that sustains the colony. In the deepest chambers, larvae grow quietly under the watchful care of nurse ants. They are moved as needed, relocated to warmer or cooler spots, kept clean, and fed with tiny droplets of nourishment. Each larva carries the potential to shape the colony in the years to come, and the ants ensure their development proceeds without harm. The slow, steady care given to the young is a quiet meditation on life itself, a gentle reminder that even the smallest beings matter in the grand rhythm of the colony. Ventilation and water management are vital to life underground. Air flows subtly through tunnels, carrying oxygen to every chamber. Pools of water glimmer faintly, collected in wells and absorbed by spongy soil just enough to sustain the colony. Ants adjust the tunnels and chambers to maintain balance, shifting soil or widening passageways when needed. Every change is small, almost imperceptible, yet together they sustain an environment perfectly adapted for life. It is a harmony of movement, moisture, and air, a silent system that hums softly beneath the world above. Patrols continue their quiet vigil along the outer corridors. Soldiers move with calm awareness, brushing antennae through the air, sensing even the faintest disturbance. When a threat is detected, the response is immediate yet measured. Workers converge, sometimes guiding intruders away, sometimes forming protective barriers. Every step is deliberate, every action part of a greater rhythm. The city is alive, and yet it flows without rush or tension, a hidden world that has endured for countless generations. The ant highways linking chambers are remarkable in their precision. Even in darkness, ants navigate these corridors with ease, following scent trails that mark paths for travel. At intersections, ants pause briefly, exchanging signals with gentle touches, then continue their journey. Each step is part of a larger pattern, a flowing movement that sustains the colony. It is a world of endless motion, yet the pace is calm, almost hypnotic, a reminder that life can continue quietly, with purpose beneath the surface of what we see. Some tunnels lead to hidden chambers where rare treasures are stored, fragments of leaves, seeds from distant plants, or pieces of fungi that are particularly nourishing. These rooms are carefully maintained, often rotated to keep contents fresh and protected. Only the colony knows their locations, the invisible maps guiding workers silently through the labyrinth. It is a system of trust, memory, and instinct, where each ant contributes to a collective intelligence greater than any individual. And in these moments of quiet activity, the poetry of the underground city becomes apparent. Life moves endlessly, yet there is no rush. Tunnels breathe, chambers pulse with gentle motion, and the city stretches outward like a living, growing organism. Each ant, though small, plays a role in a rhythm that has continued for millions of years. The city never sleeps, yet it moves with calm grace, a hidden miracle beneath the forest floor that reminds us of patience, persistence, and the quiet wonders of life. In the heart of the ant city, memory is not written in books or carved in stone, but in the paths, the scent trails, and the subtle touches exchanged between generations. Old ants carry knowledge of tunnels and chambers, of hidden food sources and safe passages, and they pass it on to younger workers with quiet patience. Ants follow these trails, brushing antennae against those of their elders, absorbing patterns of movement that guide them through the labyrinth. It is a gentle transfer of wisdom, unspoken yet precise, shaping the colony's life in ways that are invisible to the human eye. The young ants learn quickly, moving from chamber to chamber, practicing routes, and imitating the gestures of their elders. They learn which chambers are for storage, which for tending the fungus, and which lead to the queen. Every journey reinforces their knowledge, and every mistake becomes part of the shared memory of the colony. In this way, life flows continuously, the knowledge of the city preserved and renewed with each generation. Time is measured not in hours, but in the slow growth of the colony, in the rhythm of work and care, in the quiet accumulation of experience beneath the soil. Beyond the individual tunnels, there is a sense of harmony that binds the colony together. Workers, nurses, and soldiers move in a coordinated dance, each aware of the roles of others. When a worker finds a seed or a fragment of leaf, its scent trail guides dozens of others. Soldiers adjust their patrols, ensuring safety along the same paths. Nurses tend to larvae in tandem, their tiny hands moving in perfect rhythm. Even the smallest ants are aware of the larger patterns, moving in a flow that is both purposeful and serene. In chambers devoted to storage, the careful rotation of seeds and fungus is a ritual of balance. Older materials are moved inward, fresher harvests placed at the edges. Fungus gardens are trimmed and nurtured, never overfed, never neglected. The colony thrives not in haste, but through patience and careful attention, an orchestration of countless small actions that together create stability and abundance. Every ant knows its contribution, and every contribution matters. Water is gathered from hidden wells and moist soil collected in pools and absorbed through spongy chambers. The flow of moisture is subtle but constant, maintaining the delicate balance of life underground. Air circulates naturally, guided by the slope of tunnels and the movement of ants themselves. It is a silent, living system, maintained by instinct and careful observation. Nothing is wasted, nothing ignored. Every movement, every adjustment is part of a greater design that sustains life quietly, efficiently, and gracefully. Even interactions between neighbouring colonies are shaped by calm, careful understanding. Sometimes tunnels from different colonies meet, and ants pause, exchanging signals to assess the presence of others. There may be moments of cautious interaction, a delicate balance between curiosity and defence. Rarely do these encounters erupt into chaos. Instead, there is a rhythm, a negotiation that reflects the intelligence of countless generations. Life beneath the soil is not just survival, but careful coexistence, a choreography of subtle signals and quiet understanding. In the outer corridors, soldiers continue their vigilant patrols. They sense vibrations, detect intruders, and adjust their movements with calm precision. If a predator or rival ant approaches, the response is swift yet measured. Workers are guided away, barriers are formed, and threats are managed with a grace that seems almost deliberate. Every movement is part of a larger flow, a continuous rhythm that maintains safety while sustaining the life of the colony. There is never panic, only purpose, a quiet diligence that ensures survival and harmony. Larvae and young ants continue to develop under the gentle care of the nurses. They are moved to maintain optimal warmth and humidity, kept clean and fed carefully. Every touch, every movement reinforces the bond between generations. The city is alive in these subtle acts of care, a living testament to the power of collaboration, patience, and attention to detail. Even as individuals pass, the knowledge, the paths, and the care continue, weaving a seamless tapestry of life that flows endlessly through the tunnels. The ant highways remain in constant motion, connecting chambers, guiding foragers, and sustaining the city. Even in darkness, ants move with confidence, following scent trails, tapping lightly on the walls, and adjusting paths as needed. Their journeys are quiet but purposeful, weaving an invisible network of life beneath the forest floor. Each step is part of a larger rhythm, a gentle symphony of motion, care, and connection that sustains the hidden city without hurry or pause. And in these quiet, continuous moments, the poetry of the underground city is clear. Life flows endlessly, guided by instinct, experience, and gentle communication. Chambers pulse with activity, tunnels hum softly, and the city expands and adapts like a living organism. Every ant, though small, plays a part in a rhythm that has endured for millions of years. The colony never sleeps, yet it moves with calm, measured grace, a hidden world of beauty and precision beneath our feet, a testament to patience, collaboration, and the enduring wonders of nature. Life underground is not without challenge. Soil shifts, water seeps, roots grow, and predators occasionally intrude. Yet the city adapts with quiet resilience, as if the earth itself is a partner in the colony's endless rhythm. When flooding threatens, ants respond with remarkable precision. Workers move soil to redirect water, dig new channels, and elevate chambers to preserve the safety of larvae and the queen. The tunnels themselves act as subtle drainage systems, shaped over countless generations, a balance of instinct and experience that protects the life within. Predators are met with calm, deliberate coordination. Soldiers stand vigilant, scanning the tunnels for vibrations and scents that hint at danger. Workers and nurses respond instinctively, retreating to safe chambers or forming protective lines. Even a single intruder triggers a cascade of gentle, efficient action, as if the colony breathes together. There is no panic, no chaos. Every movement is measured, purposeful, a reflection of the collective intelligence that governs the city. Life continues in a rhythm that is at once resilient and serene. The architecture of the tunnels itself reveals astonishing ingenuity. Chambers are shaped to resist collapse, often rounded to distribute weight evenly. Soil is compacted and sometimes reinforced with tiny grains of sand or resin. Air pockets allow ventilation, moisture is carefully retained, and slopes guide water to safe areas. Every element is shaped to maintain balance, to protect the colony, and to sustain life. The city is not static, it is a living, breathing organism that adjusts and responds to the world above and below. In the quieter chambers, workers tend the fungus gardens with patience and care. They prune older growth, spread spores, and feed the living fungus, ensuring its delicate balance. Each garden is a miniature ecosystem, thriving under constant attention. Workers move in patterns that seem almost meditative, brushing lightly against walls and each other, carrying out tasks that are small in isolation, but profound in their collective effect. The rhythm of tending these gardens echoes through the tunnels, a soft pulse that sustains life throughout the colony. Larvae grow under the constant attention of nurses, move gently to maintain warmth and humidity. Each ant is cared for as if every movement matters, and in a sense it does. These young ants will one day become workers, soldiers, or even hardened queens themselves, continuing the endless cycle of the colony. The gentle, precise attention they receive ensures their survival, reinforcing the quiet poetry of life underground, a system that thrives not through speed, but through patience, care, and constant unhurried labour. The ant highways remain active, connecting every chamber, guiding ants to food, water, and the queen. Scouts mark trails with subtle chemical signals, creating invisible maps that others follow with perfect efficiency. At intersections, ants pause briefly, exchanging gentle touches to share information, then continue their journey. These pathways are the veins of the city, carrying life, knowledge, and sustenance throughout the hidden network. Movement is continuous, flowing, never hurried, yet never ceasing. Even the outer corridors are designed with resilience in mind. Narrow passages slow potential invaders, while hidden chambers provide refuge during storms or other disturbances. Soldiers maintain patrols, moving in patterns that adapt to new challenges. They sense changes in vibrations and air currents, responding instantly yet calmly. The city responds as a whole, a living organism of instinct, coordination, and quiet intelligence. Life flows here not in bursts, but in measured, harmonious rhythms. Water management is a constant, subtle effort. Pools glimmer in hidden chambers drawn from wells or absorbed from damp soil. Tunnels are shaped to carry away excess water, while spongy areas retain moisture where it is needed most. Ants adjust continuously, moving soil, widening passageways or reinforcing walls. The result is a stable, nurturing environment that supports every member of the colony, from the tiniest larva to the queen herself. The underground city thrives because every element works together, guided by instinct, experience, and silent communication. Interactions with neighbouring colonies also reveal the ants' intelligence and calm adaptability. Sometimes tunnels intersect or scent trails overlap, and ants pause to assess. Signals are exchanged, territory assessed, and boundaries maintained with care. Rare conflicts are resolved with efficiency, rarely erupting into chaos. The colony navigates its world with a delicate balance of cooperation and defense, each ant aware of the rhythms and needs of others. It is a dance of survival and coexistence, quiet and precise. In the stillest moments, the city seems almost to breathe. Tunnels pulse with life, chambers hum softly with activity, and the rhythms of the colony continue without pause. Ants move in endless patterns, tending, guarding, nurturing, and exploring. Every action, though small, contributes to the enduring beauty of the city, a hidden world beneath our feet that never sleeps yet moves with a calm, timeless grace. It is a testament to patience, ingenuity, and the quiet miracles of nature. Beneath the forest floor, the city hums with quiet cooperation, each ant a thread in an intricate living tapestry. Large projects like expanding tunnels or reinforcing chambers are never carried out by a single ant alone. Instead, groups move together, sensing each other's rhythm, brushing antennae lightly to share signals, and carrying soil in coordinated waves. It is not chaos, but a flowing collaboration, a gentle ballet of tiny limbs guided by instinct and subtle communication. The city grows, adapts, and changes with the same calm certainty that has carried it through countless seasons. In chambers devoted to storage and fungus cultivation, ants work side by side, each aware of the tasks of the others. Some trim and spread fungal growth, while others rotate seeds or clear debris. Every movement is deliberate, measured, and precise. Even the tiniest ants contribute to the overall pattern, each step echoing softly through the soil. Together, they create a rhythm that sustains the colony, a pulse that is both practical and beautiful, a quiet symphony of life moving in unison. Tunnels expand with patience. Workers dig slowly, testing soil for stability, redirecting small obstacles, and shaping passageways for airflow and moisture. No part of the expansion is rushed. Soil is moved carefully, compacted for strength, and chambers are reinforced with the natural materials found within the earth. Ventilation is maintained naturally, with subtle slopes and hidden openings that allow air to flow where it is needed. The city adapts gracefully to its environment, a living structure that responds to change without panic or haste. Communication remains constant yet subtle. Ants use vibrations, chemical trails, and gentle touches to convey information across the city. A signal from one chamber may ripple through the tunnels, guiding dozens of workers to a food source, or alerting them to a newly constructed passage. Each ant responds to these cues with calm precision, contributing to a shared intelligence that extends far beyond any single individual. The city is alive, not just in movement but in knowledge, a network of awareness that hums beneath the surface. The Queen remains at the heart of this network, her presence a gentle centre around which life flows. Eggs are laid continuously, each one carefully tended by nurses who move them to the perfect temperature and humidity. Larvae grow quietly, tended with constant attention, and soon join the ranks of workers, soldiers, and scouts. The colony's continuity relies on these small, deliberate acts of care, a rhythm that has endured for generations. Life moves forward here, not in haste, but in calm, deliberate cycles. Even the outer corridors are shaped by cooperation. Patrols coordinate their movements, sensing changes in vibrations and chemical signals, adjusting their routes and behavior in harmony with the colony's needs. Soldiers guard against intruders, workers respond to food sources, and scouts explore new territory. Each ant is aware of its place in the system, moving with a quiet understanding that the city is stronger when every part works together. Harmony emerges naturally from this cooperation, creating a sense of balance and serenity throughout the underground world. Water is distributed carefully, collected in hidden pools or absorbed in spongy soil, with tunnels shaped to prevent flooding and maintain humidity. Fungus gardens rely on this moisture, larvae need it for development, and the tunnels themselves benefit from the stability it provides. Ants adjust continuously, redistributing resources, reinforcing walls, and reshaping passageways. The city is a delicate ecosystem where every element supports another, a hidden balance maintained by countless small acts of coordination and care. Sometimes tunnels intersect with neighbouring colonies and ants interact with careful negotiation. Signals are exchanged, boundaries assessed, and agreements maintained with subtle touches and vibrations. Conflicts are rare, resolved with measured responses rather than chaos. Even in these interactions, the colony demonstrates intelligence and grace, managing relationships with others in a way that ensures survival and coexistence. Life underground is not solitary. It is a complex web of cooperation that extends beyond the walls of any single colony. In the deepest chambers, larvae and young ants continue to grow under the watchful eyes of nurses. Their tiny bodies are moved, cleaned, and fed with constant care. Each movement reinforces the lessons of the colony, the rhythm of life, and the invisible maps that guide every worker. The city thrives in this careful balance, a testament to the power of collaboration and the intelligence embedded in the smallest creatures. Even in silence, the tunnels pulse with life, the chambers hum softly, and the colony grows stronger with each passing moment. And in these quiet, interconnected moments, the true wonder of the underground city is revealed. Life moves endlessly, yet never hurriedly. Every ant, every tunnel, every chamber contributes to a rhythm that has endured for millennia. The city never sleeps, yet it flows with gentle grace, a hidden masterpiece beneath the forest floor. It is a world of patience, collaboration, and quiet intelligence, a place where the smallest lives create the largest miracles, and where every movement, no matter how tiny, sustains a vast living network of life. In the deepest reaches of the colony, life continues in quiet cycles that have endured for millions of years. Tunnels stretch in every direction, chambers pulse with activity, and the rhythm of labour flows endlessly. Every ant, no matter how small, contributes to this rhythm, moving with purpose, brushing antennae lightly against others, following scent trails that guide them through the labyrinth. Life here is measured not by hours or days, but by the gentle pulse of work, care, and the growth of generations. The queen, ever at the centre, rests lightly, attended by her devoted workers. Her eggs, tiny and fragile, promise the continuation of the colony, each one a seed of future activity. Nurses move constantly among them, ensuring warmth, nourishment, and protection. Larvae grow in soft beds of soil tended with meticulous care, while the youngest workers practice their roles, learning the city's hidden maps and the rhythm of its movements. The city itself seems alive, breathing softly with the pulse of countless tiny bodies moving in harmony. Tunnels are alive with motion and purpose. Scouts venture outward, exploring unseen corners of the soil, marking new food sources, and returning to guide their sisters with invisible maps of scent. Workers transport leaves, seeds, and fragments of fungus back to carefully maintained chambers. Soldiers patrol tirelessly, sensing vibrations, protecting the colony, and maintaining the delicate balance of safety. Every action is purposeful yet calm, each ant aware of its role in the greater rhythm of life that flows through the city. The fungus gardens continue to thrive under gentle attention. Workers trim old growth, spread spores, and feed the delicate plants with care. Seeds are rotated in storage chambers, maintained in perfect balance for future use. Water is managed subtly, drawn from wells, absorbed by soil, and distributed carefully to sustain every part of the colony. The ants do not hurry, they move with patience. Their efforts a quiet testament to the power of small actions multiplied across thousands of individuals. Interactions between chambers, tunnels, and neighbouring colonies unfold with gentle precision. Paths intersect, scent trails overlap, and ants pause to exchange signals. Conflicts are rare and resolved quietly, with measured gestures and vibrations. Cooperation and coexistence are as natural as the soil itself, a delicate choreography that ensures survival and balance. The colony is a world in miniature, a network of connections that extends far beyond what the human eye can see. Generations of ants overlap in this living city. Older workers pass knowledge to the young, sharing the hidden maps of tunnels, the rhythms of patrols, and the methods of care. Each ant contributes to the continuity of life, ensuring that knowledge, instinct, and practice flow seamlessly through time. The cycles of birth, growth, work, and care repeat endlessly, a quiet continuity that gives the city its enduring strength. Every ant is a thread in a vast living tapestry, a part of a pattern that has existed long before and will persist long after any single individual. Even in moments of stillness, the city hums softly with life. The gentle tapping of tiny legs, the brushing of antennae, the movement of soil, and the flow of water create a subtle symphony of motion. It is a sound imperceptible to most, yet it embodies the essence of existence here, a rhythm of collaboration, care, and unbroken continuity. The city is never silent, never idle. Even when individual ants rest, the network continues, moving in harmony with the cycles of life underground. The architecture of the tunnels, chambers, and passageways is a marvel of quiet ingenuity. Rounded chambers prevent collapse, slopes carry water safely, and ventilation pockets allow air to circulate naturally. Soil is compacted, roots are integrated into structures, and hidden chambers store food and fungus with careful precision. The city adapts continuously to the environment, responding to floods, obstacles, or the shifting earth with calm resilience. Every element supports another, creating a balance that sustains life in perfect harmony. As the night deepens above, life below continues unabated. Ants move with the same gentle rhythm, guided by the instinct and shared knowledge. The queen remains at the centre, surrounded by her attendants. Larvae grow quietly, young workers learn the hidden paths, and soldiers patrol the corridors. Even in darkness, every movement, Every touch, every vibration contributes to the ongoing story of the city. The colony never sleeps. It flows with endless patience and purpose, a hidden miracle beneath the forest floor. And in these quiet, timeless moments, the true poetry of the underground city becomes clear. Life is endless yet calm, complex yet ordered, small yet monumental. Every ant, every chamber, every tunnel is part of a vast interconnected rhythm that has endured for millennia. The city is a testament to patience, collaboration, and the quiet intelligence of nature. Beneath our feet in the hidden darkness, a world thrives that never sleeps, moving in gentle grace, a living masterpiece of life itself.